All right, you're welcome to my channel. This is Nixon Capital. Today is 24th of March 2026, and currently we're having a structure on NZDUSD and a couple of NZD pairs that we are looking forward to capitalize on. Okay, so at Nixon Capital, we always, our framework has been the same. We trade with data, time, and order flow. Okay, so when we get a beautiful structure like this, we always have to check other currency pairs for correlation of the structure. Okay, so when we look at this structure on NZDUSD, we can see that there is a gap here that was created on 26th of November 2025. The same thing on Euro NZD. We have the same gap on Euro NZD, 26th of November 2025. And when we look at NZD card, okay, we have the same gap on created on 26th November 2025. This tells us that, let's go back to our NZD pair. This tells us that whatever the situation might be, this catalyst or this gap that was created in the market was created by the NZD economy. So we will narrow ourselves to the 26th November 2025 on Forex Factory. So that is where, when we come to 26th of November, we have the RBNZ meeting on that very day. And we had market expecting interest rate cuts from the central bank, and the central bank actually delivered. It tells you that this was already priced into the market. Okay, this was priced into the market. So when we look at our structure right now, as FX traders, we always pay attention to inflation forecast and employment forecast. So with this day's meeting, we had the RBNZ, whereas I've opened a report here. This is the you can see here, November 2025 report. We saw the RBNZ projecting inflation. They said annual CPI inflation has increased in 2025 a whole lot. We project annual CPI inflation to decrease to the near 2% target midpoint over the next year. So we were in 2025. They expected inflation to come back to the 2% midpoint over next year. So they were expecting inflation to come to that level this year, which is 2026. Okay. So that was their first projection. So we had market actually preferring the NZD over other currency pairs. Okay, which is the USD was part, the Euro was part, and the Canadian dollar too was part of that move. So we had this appreciation of the New Zealand dollar against the NZD here. And as FX traders, we have to be paying, since the RBNZ meeting was what actually created this demand, we are not going to look any further to different data. Okay, we are always going to pay attention to the RBNZ for additional inflation forecast. Either they are going to revise the inflation forecast down or upwards. And luckily for us, when we got their next meeting, the subsequent meeting after the November meeting was the February 18th, okay, February 2026 meeting. And when we look at their projection for inflation, they said we project annual, there's the line here. We project annual CPI inflation to decrease to the 2% midpoint in the March 2027. So in November, they were expecting inflation to come down in 2026. Okay, you can see it right here. We project annual CPI to decrease over the next year, which is 2026, this current year. But when we got into 2026, their first meeting, they revised their inflation forecast to come down in March 2027 quarter. Okay, so they see inflation to come down in the first quarter of 2027, which is a little bit higher than the previous one. So it tells us that our structure is intact. Okay, when we can see price currently trading downwards, okay, you can go to the lower time frame and be trading your technicals. But when price get to this price range, we don't have to expect this is going to cap downward pressure, downward selling pressure. Okay, and all the sellers are going to get out of the market, and price is going to be a bit higher. Okay, so we are looking forward to enter the market from here and expect higher prices. So this is where we're going to place our entry. Our stop loss is just going to be below the swing low, and we target this swing high. Okay, and when we look at NZD card, price has actually entered our range, and we are buying now on NZD card. You can see that price range we had price. So initially, when you entered from this zone, this was going to be a risky trade for you because you didn't have any confirmation of our inflation forecast. Okay, so when you're entering from this price range without this additional data that what we have now, this was a risky trade for you. So currently, we have our confirmation from the RBNZ, and we are in the market. Okay, we can see a beautiful rejection here. So we take the buy here, and our stop loss is just below this swing low, and we are targeting this swing high. We get out of the market right here. And our Euro NZD, we are now expecting a deeper correction of this pair. We're expecting a deeper correction to this level, and our stop loss is going to be just about this high. Then we target this low. Okay, that is just that for this NZD pairs. And a quick recap: yesterday on AUD USD on the 4-hour, I posted a video, and we're actually, we had RBA signaling inflation. It was this inflation trajectory that created this demand, and we had a confirmation. So when you watch my previous video, that I think I recorded it on the 23rd. Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah, if you're watching this current video, that was yesterday. And when we were buying from this price range, and our target was just about this high, our stop loss below this recent swing low. And sometimes when you have the fundamental aligning itself, when we enter the zone, we had this bullish close. This tells you that yes, institutional players are showing conviction from our zone again. So this was the perfect time. If you get a bullish close from the zone, you can now enter. But we having the confirmation fundamentally, we don't wait for the bullish close. We just place our limit order, reduce our risk, then we enter the market. So we are already in profits. Yeah, we're already in profits. But if you didn't watch that video, you can still enter the market, but this time around you're going to be a little bit exposed. Okay, you can still take the trade here at this current price, and you can enjoy the ride. Okay, so that is just it. I'd like to end the video here. See you in my next video.